And welcome back. It's time for some trending topics. Okay, so I don't know about you, Maddie, but my entire feed today and yesterday and probably tomorrow is all about Beyonce and her Christmas halftime show. Now, I have to say, what's really interesting to me about this before I say anything else is that she actually did the NFL halftime show. Like the Super Bowl is what I meant to say, not NFL. That's obviously what this is. The Super Bowl halftime show a few years ago. So it's interesting that she's doing this in such a big way again.
Yeah. Wait, was that the same year she did the whole Coachella thing? Were those back-to-back years?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah. But so here's what's interesting. So this was the Christmas halftime show for the Ravens-Texans game, which was kind of a hometown show for Beyonce because she's from Houston. And this was all about Cowboy Carter. So this is kind of paying homage to that. What I love about this is that it's gotten so much flack that I feel like this was her moment to just kind of like stick it to everybody.
That's what I was thinking about the Country Music Awards.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was not nominated for one, and she is really pushing this Cowboy Carter. Now, here's the thing: she looks beautiful. Her daughter Blue Ivy looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But do you feel? And I don't want to sound judgmental.
Okay, go
do
ahead.
Do you feel Blue Ivy looks older than she is? She's only like 12 years old, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I keep thinking she's like 15 or 16. No, I don't think
That's
true
what
at
I was
all.
thinking.
And then she's like 12. And I'm like, huh?
Even-
Well, good for her.
Yeah, even my parents who really don't keep up with celebrity news, we were watching the halftime show yesterday and they were like, how old is she again? And I was like, she's only 12, but yeah.
I will say, I was gonna pull it down and I forgot, but one of my favorite things about her performance that people are comparing was the fact that Blue Ivy was dancing right next to her. And by the way, she killed it. That girl can dance.
Yeah.
But seeing the, I think it was like the VMAs, I guess 13, 12 years ago, whatever, of her announcing that she was pregnant with Blue Ivy.
Yeah.
And then now on stage being right next to Blue Ivy. Like, that's really special. That's super, super cool.
No, that definitely is. And obviously Blue Ivy is gonna be, I mean, she's set up for life.
Yeah.
As our, well, here's the question. Where are the twins?
Girl.
Where are Beyonce and Jay-Z's twins? Because let's not forget.
With the nanny. I'm just kidding. I don't
right?
know.
I don't know. But no, overall, I think it was a great halftime show. She looked phenomenal. And I wonder what's coming down the pipeline from her. Since
I know. It's funny
done,
because
everything.
I feel like her and Jay-Z, it all started at the Grammys. I think it was last year, the year before, when Jay-Z gave that whole speech about how he was kind of like ragging on the Grammys a little bit and saying it was like unfair because he felt like Beyonce deserved more, even though she's like the most nominated artist in history or whatever it is. So I just feel like they're on this like vengeance tour a little bit. I don't know if it's like she has something to prove. And it's weird because she doesn't have anything to prove, but I do feel like she has something to prove when it comes to this whole like her tapping into this country music side of her career, if you will. Because I'm like, girl, you've done so much. Like, your fan base loves you. They're loyal. Nothing has changed as far as that went, you know. Well, and also you think about Beyonce's 40 or almost 40 or maybe north of 40, I don't know. But either way, I mean, she's had a very, like the longevity of her career has sustained itself on its own. And so like, there's nothing to prove at this point. But what I like is that she's still coming out at this point in her career and, like I said, sticking it to people. And I haven't seen the performance in its entirety, but I saw clips. She killed it. I mean, it was amazing. And I really do feel like it finally brought, I haven't seen any of her tours, so maybe she performed on tour or something, but I feel like it finally brought this album to life and gave it the justice that I think people have maybe been seeking or maybe that she wanted to prove. I don't know. Either way. But I think it's cool. Like you said, she brought out Blue Ivy. She also brought out Post Malone. And then Shabuzi, which I don't know if they performed, but
that's who my parents were like, who is this guy? And I was like, it's not her husband. I think it's Shabuzi.
So I thought that was kind of fun. I enjoyed that. So
it's a great, I mean, she puts on an amazing show, as always. So.
Yeah, I thought it was good. And I don't know when to expect it, but supposedly the rumor is that Netflix is actually putting out that clip of the performance on its own thing on Netflix. So look forward to that. Yeah. So, I don't know, interesting. Okay, now I know Christmas has since passed, but people are still celebrating. We're still in the Christmas spirit. So, I wanted to bring up something because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Holiday specials, like celebrity holiday specials that they air on television. So, like this year we saw one from Sabrina Carpenter on Netflix with her Nonsense Christmas. And then Josh Groban did a very kind of traditional classic one where he brought in some different singers in with him. And then Michael Bublé did one called Christmas in the City. And then Nate Bargatze, I think is how you say his name, the big stand-up comedian right now. He had a special he did on CBS as well, which was like, I think called Country Christmas or something. They did it in Nashville. But what's just kind of like your general take on holiday specials? Because I feel like you're either for them or against them, or maybe it depends on who's doing them. I
think it depends, on who is doing them. I mean, that's That's a lot of people
A
putting those
lot,
out, you know?
yeah.
But I mean, I love a good comedy music crossover
Yeah.
special, so I think I'd probably be more prone, and I have, just to preface, I haven't seen any of these.
Sure, yeah.
But I think I'd be more prone to watch the Nate Bargatze
Mm-hmm.
Christmas special.
I think that's super fair. I will say I did watch Sabrina Carpenter's is the only one I watched in its entirety, mostly because I was super intrigued to see what she would do. Obviously, she's gained so much buzz this year, and all of her songs have made it to #1. So I was like, what is this, and what is she gonna do? Because she hasn't really released like Christmas music per se, or
Yeah.
covers or anything. Hers was really good, but it was definitely little raunchier, I guess is the best word I can think of. So like, definitely it makes sense that it was on Netflix rather than one of the primetime networks.
Right.
Josh Groban's, I feel like, was that very traditional sense. So I think if you're looking for just a very classic Christmas, his was probably the one to check out. I did not get to see Nate Bargatze's, but I heard really good things.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know people really love him. And so I like that, I was telling you earlier, I like that it wasn't a famous singer per se. It was like they're kind of tapping it as something different because he got to show off his personality and his stand-up, but also had these bigger names like Carrie Underwood performed with him. I think Jelly Roll's featured in it. So it's just fun to kind of see the different varieties and what they choose to do with it, I suppose.
Yeah. So I love stand-up comedy, and there is a comedian named Adam Ray. Have you heard about him? He
Sounds
does
familiar. I
a
don't know.
Dr. Phil special. So he dresses up as Dr. Phil, and then he interviewed Dr. Phil. And granted, this had nothing to do with like the holidays per se, but
Yeah.
it is so funny. And he's doing it in different cities. Like that's what he's on tour for right now. So I tuned into that, and I loved it. I highly recommend it.
No, that
It's
sounds
hilarious.
amazing, though. I feel like
and
I need
Dr.
to
Phil
check
has
that
a
out.
really funny personality.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, let's call it like it is. I love a comedian that can do what they do well and still be a good person. Because I feel like
Yes.
we see a lot of them that go down these very like sleazy routes, and that's their ammo, and that's great. That's like, good for them. Make your career,
Good for
the
them
way.
going down the sleazy route.
Well, I mean, but it's true. Like
No,
so many
yeah.
of them feel like they have to go so one way just to impress people, especially with social media and all. So it's like I
Yeah.
can really respect someone like Nate who is like making such a big name for himself and kind of doing it like the traditional
Clean
way, I
comedy.
guess.
Clean
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah.
Like Jim Gaffigan.
I just
So.
have more respect for that, I think, personally. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so just some random trivia topics for
Things
you
to
today.
check out, and I will say the Adam Ray special is raunchy as well. So, yep, let's be
I do wanna check it
cautious
out,
of that.
though, so,
All right,
yes.
we'll be back with lots more fun on Unscripted after this.